Yes, guys, welcome back to the channel. And deadline day is just around the corner. In fact, I'm pretty sure it ends on Sunday at midnight. What we're going to be doing in this video is we are going to be signing one player for each of the big six clubs in the Premier League and basically why I'd do it. So, starting off with my boys, Arsenal. Who would I sign on deadline day for Arsenal Football Club? At this point, this is being filmed on a Wednesday, so as far as I'm aware, Martinelli is still at the club, but it's looking like he's going to be going Al Hilal any day now. We need that left winger. Obviously, earlier in the window, we were in for Vinny Jr. Rival fans will joke about that and say, come on, that was never going to happen. I actually feel like we did give them pretty big offer in terms of Rock Nation. I feel like, listen, if we wanted to get Vinny Jr., it could have happened, but obviously Real Madrid is Real Madrid. You're not going to leave Real Madrid to come to Arsenal, unfortunately. We just have to hold that one. In terms of who I would sign, I would seriously make a play for Bradley Barcola. I know he's been linked with Liverpool, and a lot of Liverpool fans will assume that he's just going to go there. He probably will, but if I'm in charge of the transfers at Arsenal, I'm putting my name in the hat. I think Bradley Barcola is a class player. I think we've seen that at the World Cup. He's a back-to-back Champions League winner now with PSG. Fast, can play on both wings, and I think he's a goal threat. In terms of world-class left wingers that are out there as well, I don't think there's many, especially ones that you can nab from the bigger teams like PSG or Real Madrid or Barcelona. He is attainable, and obviously Liverpool know that. PSG wanted something ridiculous like 170 million euros. Like, that is stupid. This market is broken, and we're going to be seeing a lot of that in this video. However, I think Liverpool have managed to get it right down to about 120 mil. With that in mind, knowing that Arsenal were going to throw about 150 at Vinny, like I said, I'd put our name in a hat and I'd see if we can nab him. It'd suit that Arsenal shirt as well. You can have the number 11, play off the left. You'd have him. You'd have Havertz, you'd have Saka, you'd have Zolis. So many good attacking options there. I think Bradley Barcola would suit our play as well. Obviously, I think he got 11 goals in 33 games last season in the league. So that's not a bad output. That's like almost one every three. Well, that is one every 3 games. We can't let him go to Liverpool. So yeah, for Arsenal, I'd sign Bradley Barcola. Moving on to the next club, and we're going to talk about Chelsea. Now, Chelsea Football Club have done well this window. They've improved their attack, and they've improved their midfield, and they've improved their defence. But one thing they have not improved on in years, in literal years, and I think if they do solve this piece of the puzzle, it could get a little bit messy for that top spot, and that's goalkeeper. Now, we know Bob Sanchez is absolutely whack, right? I don't know who rates him anymore. I really don't, but he is terrible. Chelsea fans will try and stick by his side, and that's fine. He's your player. I understand it. If you really want to challenge and you really want to push on, I think you need to change who's in between the sticks. I would go with Diego. Is it Diego or Diogo? I'll go Diego. Diego Costa from Porto. I think he's a class keeper. Portuguese international. He kept 21 clean sheets last season in the league. Transfer market have him at around 40 million euros, which isn't that bad considering today's market. I think he's a good keeper. He's got well-rounded levels of experience playing in the Champions League, playing in Europa League, playing in Portuguese League, which some people say is a bit of a bot league. I don't think it's that much of a bot league. I think Portuguese League's pretty techy. Obviously, he plays for the best team in that league. They won the league last season. I think he can do it in the Prem. I think bring Diego Costa to the Prem. I think that is a good value for a good goalkeeper. He's young as well, so you get many years out of him. And I think he does improve that Chelsea's back five with him in goal. If I'm Chelsea, I'm looking at him. That is a good goalkeeper for a good price in today's market. So yeah, Chelsea, I'm signing Diego Costa. Okay, moving on to Liverpool. Now, obviously, Liverpool have lost Mo Salah this season. He's gone to the Turkish league anyway. They need a replacement for Mo Salah. I think they've got Chiesa on that right-hand side. Pants. Actual pants. Obviously, they've got Rio. Rio, good, promising young prospect. But is he going to be able to carry Liverpool on his back? Probably not. And yeah, assuming that Bradley Barcola goes to Arsenal, they need to make a big money signing. And I'm looking at a youngster from Bournemouth on the right hand side. It goes by the name of Rayan. I think Rayan looks like a serious danger. It'd be one of them signings, like when they got Sadio Mane. I feel like everyone thought Sadio Mane, fuck, that's a good signing. That's a prem proven, fast, nippy winger. You can't afford anyone else to get. And I think Rayan is the second coming of that. Rayan could very well be the new Sadio Mane. I think whoever gets him needs to get him now. Obviously, he only came to Bournemouth in January, so he's not been there that long. It would cost you a lot of money to get him out of that contract. I think transfer market got him at about 60 mil. I can easily see that going up to about 100. He's only 19 years of age. Very, very promising winger. I think he looks ready to take on that right-hand side for Liverpool, and that would be a disgusting, disgusting attack for them. I think he'll have so many fullbacks on absolute strings. So if it doesn't get done this window, which it probably wouldn't, because I imagine Bournemouth want to hold on to him, obviously with Krupi being injured, I would definitely look at bringing him in next summer. You may as well just send it out. I'd send it out and just see what the quotes are, see how much money they're actually looking for him. But obviously the risk you have with that is that he could really kick on, and that's just going to bump up that price. And I can see that happening. I can see Rayan being an absolute problem. Obviously he went to the World Cup with Brazil as well, getting in over some good names as well. Yeah, for Liverpool, I'm looking at Rayan. Moving on now to Manchester City. Now, Manchester City have obviously lost Rodri. A lot of this is going to be just replacing players that have gone that are big names. Obviously, they've lost Bernardo Silva and they've lost Rodri, one to Real Madrid and one to Barcelona. And we're seeing the effect that is having on their team. They have not that many of the old leaders there anymore. They've got a new gaffer. They've got new players. A lot of them are younger. A lot of them haven't really won stuff with City the way that Rodri and Bernardo and John Stones and Ake and all these ones that have been there for so long. They're losing all their players. They're in a bit of a rebuild. With that being said, they need to bump up that midfield. I think there's too much pressure on Elliot Anderson, as I've said in previous videos. There's way too much pressure on that. He should not have to come into this club and be told, right, you're Rodri's replacement. Shouldn't have to be that way. I think he needs help. I'd bring in someone else in the centre mid, and they've been linked with him for quite a while now, and that's Enzo Fernandez. Obviously, they had a deadline, Chelsea, for, I think it was Friday, just gone, where it was 120 mil. You can have him. And Man City did not reach that deadline. Now, Chelsea are well within their rights to ask for more money. Probably about 140, 150 mil. As it stands, the deal's not off the table one bit. I think Man City could very easily just go in and just take him, because I don't think Chelsea fans even want him there anymore, really. I mean, if he's on the contract, he's on the contract, so he'll play. Obviously, he was booed off against Fulham on their opening game of the season. I just think it will be a long season for him. I think he needs to get out. Obviously, he's worked with Maresca before as well. I think it will be a good matchup. I think Enzo would do pretty well at City. I mean, he really does well at Chelsea. Question marks over the price. 8-year contract or 10-year contract, whatever the fuck it was. Yeah. I think if he went to Man City, I don't see that being a flop signing. I could actually see it kicking them on quite a bit, to be fair. And in their rebuild, they could really do with someone that grab that midfield by the scruff of the neck, a bit like what Elliot Anderson does, but do it together. And then I think if you had that midfield of Shirky, Anderson, Enzo, it's a pretty good midfield, and it's a young midfield. I'd go with Enzo Fernandez for Manchester City. Moving on to the other side of Manchester, we are going to go with a left back. I think the fact that it's 2026 and Luke Shaw is still playing left back is absolutely criminal. Manchester United have so many problems, literally so many. They've already tried to pack in that midfield. They've done an all right job. Obviously, it's a bit hard to tell against Hull because they got mauled by the Tigers. Anyway, I would go with left back. Luke Shaw does not need to be starting in the 2026 season, okay? So I think it's an obvious choice to go for Lewis Hall. Newcastle will probably not want to let him go after they've already let go half of their team. Man United have the money. Just go throw it at them. They can't say no forever. Eventually, Lewis Hall will want to kick on as well. Kicking on, does that mean go to Man United? Probably not. But Man United, there's no doubt, they are the second biggest club in the world behind Real Madrid. If I'm Lewis Hall, I'd take that move. They need to improve that defence drastically. you saw what happened against Hull. We don't know what's going to happen against Ipswich. It could get shambolic if they don't make a move for him on deadline day, which they should. I can't even express enough how much they need a left back. If they don't go for him this window, they should go for him in January. Lewis Hall is a good player. Obviously, Champions League experience now as well, which will come in handy for Manchester United now that they are back in the Champions League. Transfer market have got him at about 40 mil, but I think it will obviously be more than that because he'll be way more valuable to Newcastle than what he is to Manchester United right now. In terms of who I would sign if I was Man United, I'm going left back. I'm going Lewis Hall. And finally, moving on to Tottenham Hotspur. Now, the Tottenham Hotspur player that I've got them signing is I think they've made loads of good improvements all over the pitch, other than striker. They have not signed that striker that they need as maybe their final piece of the puzzle. With that being said, Richarlison, you've got to go. You've got to go. The pigeon has got to be out the door. He is shocking. Solanke can stay, but as a backup. But I still even think Solanke, give it one more window, mate. You could fucking go as well. If I'm Tottenham Hotspur, I'm looking at Junior Krupi. We spoke about Rayan from Bournemouth and how promising he is. I think Krupi is the real deal. I think he is the second coming of Christ, right? Junior Krupi is a fantastic player and he'd be an even better signing for Tottenham Hotspur. Obviously, he's injured at the moment, but I would take that risk. If I'm any club, I'm taking that risk. He will be back from injury and he is too good to not be in a top 6 side. As an Arsenal fan, it would kill me if he went to Tottenham, absolutely destroy me, because I mean that man won us the league. If you really want to look at it that way, scoring goals against Manchester City, I mean he'll always have a place in my heart. I love him. I'd love him to come to Arsenal, but unfortunately, that position is just not up for grabs right now. Where it is up for grabs is Tottenham Hotspur. He'd probably be valued around 80, 90 mil, probably way more to be honest. But that's what transfer market have him at. Scored a bag of goals last season. Will probably end up being a French international as well. And that should say something because that French squad is disgusting in terms of who they've got in attack. And the fact that Junior Krupi is probably, 19 years of age and he'll get into that team, ridiculous. So if I'm Tottenham Hotspur, I'm signing Junior Krupi. And like I said, it would absolutely devastate me. It would kill me. But Jesus, what a signing that would be for them. Okay, guys, so that is one player from the Big Six side that I would sign on deadline day. Yeah, let me know if you support another team and who you'd sign, or if you think some of my suggestions are just straight up outrageous and stupid. Thanks for watching the video. Like, comment, subscribe, stay locked in, and I'll catch you in the next one.